Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ayo and I'm a lifestyle blogger who encourages people to live their best life. I have a podcast, I do YouTube sometimes, and you can follow me on Instagram for daily encouragement content. Today I'm coming to you with the 5 business lessons that I learned from Itaewon Class. Itaewon Class is a Korean drama, it's out on Netflix, and this video will have spoilers, so please make sure you check it out before watching. But without further ado, let's get into these lessons I learned. So, in case you didn't know, Itaewon Class is a Korean drama about an ex-convict called Park Se-ri and about his dream to own the biggest food business in Korea whilst also seeking revenge against his enemies. Now, those that know me know that I love a good romantic comedy drama. And this drama is not that at all. I mean, it has aspects, but it's not the premise of the story. But yet, I loved it with every inch of my being. I was inspired, I admired the characters, I was just so into it. And I learned so much from it. And that's the reason why I had to do this video, because I just thought there's lessons in this that I think everybody can apply to their lives. Let's get straight into these tips. Tip number 1, ownership is key. And the reason why I say this is because one of the first obstacles that Park Se-ri got into was that he was pushed out of his building because his enemy essentially bought the building and became his landlord. Now, I know that in life we can't always get ownership, but I just think it's something that we should definitely aspire to. And he was able to overcome that obstacle by buying a building and not having the issue of somebody trying to push him out or try to buy it off him. Like I said, in real life we can't always have ownership, and sometimes renting and leasing is the way that we're able to get started. But I just learned from that in the sense that ownership should always be the end goal, because with ownership comes security. And obviously in his situation, he was being targeted specifically, so it was really important for him to have things of his own and not have to rely on others who could easily be bought out by his enemy. Tip number 2, your persona is key. Now, the reason why I say this is because as part of Park Se-ri's story, he was able to grow and develop his business in such a short period of time and was able to eventually overthrow his enemies. And a key factor in that was Jo Yi-so. Without her, I do not believe that he would have gotten as far as he did. And the reason why she was so determined and she was such a big help was because she was attracted to his persona. She admired his determination. She knew that he was a good and kind-hearted person, and she knew that his priorities were in the right places and he deserved everything. He deserved the success. And because of that, she was able to help him, and she was determined to help him just as much as he was determined to become successful. So I think a big factor in that was just to realize that actually, if you are going to be heading up a business, if you're going to be a part of a business, the way you are and the way you come across to people is so key. Your personality, your persona, it really matters, and it was a big part in Park Se-ri's success. Tip number 3 is don't let your pride cloud your judgment. Now, the reason why I say this is because there was a vital part in the story where Park Se-ri had the opportunity to ask for investment in order to grow and franchise his business. Now, the reason why he didn't do that was because the person he had to ask investment from was his employee's grandma. And his employee, he didn't feel like he wanted to take advantage of that relationship. And so I completely understand why he was a bit like, I don't want to ask this of her because I don't want to use him as like a trump card. I completely understood him, and watching it I was a bit like, I know why he's saying that, but really and truly he was allowing his pride to stop the potential growth of his business. Something that his employee was essentially okay with, and something that even the grandma was happy with. She wanted him to ask, but she wasn't impressed by the fact that he didn't, and that it was all based on pride. And so because of that, as much as Park Se-ri was a really admirable character, we actually got to see his flaws throughout this whole drama, and we got to see that his pride, in fact, was a problem, and that's something that he should work on. But the good thing about it was that he was able to listen to the people around him and really learn from that, and eventually ask for the investment. So yeah, don't allow your pride to cloud your judgment, and don't allow your pride to stop you from potentially growing your business just because you don't want to ask for help. Tip number 4, tenacity and determination can get you very, very far. Now, I've spoken about Park Se-ri's character already, but his character, amazing. He was so determined. He was so inspirational, and he went through so many different obstacles as part of his journey to his success. He got kicked out of his building, he lost a huge investment, he took a real big knock to his reputation, but yet he still kept going. There were so many different obstacles that kept being thrown at him, especially because his enemies were in a huge position. They were able to wield a lot of power and work all these different factors against him. but yet he still came through. Now you have to admire it, and you have to recognize that this is something that we need to apply to our daily lives, because there's a lot of times that we're going to aspire for something, whether it's your business, whether it's a goal that you have in mind, and all of these things are going to come against you. But eventually it's going to be what we use to our strengths. It's going to be what allows us to become successful. And so a huge part of Itaewon Class was just that determination, that tenacity, that strength to never give up. And honestly, that was one of the biggest takeaways I took from that drama. If you are ever feeling uninspired, if you ever feel like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, watch Itaewon Class, I beg you, because honestly, it can completely shift your perspective on how we should approach our goals and the things that we want in life. And so yes, like I said, tenacity and determination can actually get you very, very far. Tip number 5, create good values from the start. Park Se-yi was all about the people. He said it from day one. It's the people that are going to allow me to improve my business. It's the people that are going to allow me to grow my business. And it's because of the people that I want to do this. He was so focused on people, and he knew the value of people. There were a lot of obstacles that even his employees faced when it came to racism, transphobia, a lot of different things that his employees unfortunately faced as a result of being next to him. And he even allowed them, even in situations where it could actually harm the business, he allowed them to be themselves. He allowed them to go through whatever they needed to go through, just so that he can value them and show them how much they meant to him. And because of that, they were even more determined to help him get his success and become a part of the dream. And when he did eventually become the biggest food business in Korea, they were there, right there with him, cheering him on and also enjoying that success with him. And I was so inspired by that. I was so inspired by actually all these different people had different parts of them that made them shunned by society, but in fact they became a part of this huge success story. And honestly, you guys can tell from this video, I love Itaewon Class. I learned so much from it, and I genuinely think that something like that, valuing people, having good values from the start, is a reason why a lot of businesses become very successful. Once they're able to grow and show the value that they bring to people, but also value the people that are also bringing that value, you can become a key business into helping and improving people's lives. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was as short and as sweet as I wanted it to be. If you're interested, please make sure you follow me on Instagram. I have daily encouragement content, whether it's about business, content creation, just living your best life. All of that is available on my Instagram. Subscribe if you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you felt like you learned something, and talk to me in the comments. Have you watched Itaewon Class? Did you like it? Do you want to watch it? Just make sure you let me know. Thank you so much, and please have a blessed week.